Good day, ladies and gentlemen, young people, old people, all my people everywhere in South Africa, everywhere in the world. This is Dr. Rosaline Sebolao coming to you once more from Home of Inspiration. And today is such an exciting day for me because 15 years ago, Home of Inspiration was established. So this baby is growing. It has grown. The baby has grown. And I have really interacted with so many people everywhere. And today I am celebrating the life of Home of Inspiration and the impact that it has actually had on people in South Africa and all over the world. And thanking God for using me and the company as the vessel to bring life to the people. And today there's no better way as a Women's Day, National Women's Day in South Africa. There's no better way for me to do this other than celebrating the life of a woman that I have observed many years ago. We've worked together. I have interacted with her and I've seen how much she served God with her life and with all the interactions she's had. Her name is June Maserame Mokoka. We've worked together in the then Department of Finance, Expenditure and Economic Affairs. And when I was monitoring transformation in the department in the 90s, she volunteered as one of the people that would serve in the transformation committee with me. And I really enjoyed working with her. So today, I want us to celebrate her life and let her just tell us briefly who June Maserame Mokoka is. Maserame, can you introduce yourself to my viewers?
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much. And I'm really honored to be at Home of Inspiration, especially because we come a long way. As you've mentioned, I was listening to you when you say we were in finance, economics, and expenditure. Wow, that's a long name and a long time ago, because sometime in years it changed to Treasury. So it was Department of Treasury. So I believe you were just telling our age and how far we've come. But what I want to tell your listeners is that, much as you said, I volunteered to be part of the transformation committee. To me, it was like putting what is instinctively mine in front of my eyes. You know, as you grow up, just because you intellectually can understand some of the subjects, you gravitate towards that. Now, here you are working in finance, but naturally you are not that person. You can be able to forecast revenues, do budgets, everything, but the minute someone shows you something that is instinctively yours, you gravitate toward it. So transformation has been my baby, and you don't want to know when you left. Now I was like forced to focus on just money issues, you know, no transforming people and all that. And that's how I ended up quitting and following my heart, because as a result, over the years, I've actually branched into so many other degrees because I didn't know myself. I was finding myself, I was not happy. I mean, could you believe I even went into international relations because I thought it's one of the things I wanted to do. But no. No, but God rerouted me. God rerouted my life and put me back where He purposed me to be. So as a result, from 2014, I've been working with the young people. That's why I opened NPC I called Growing Smart Leaders. In Growing Smart Leaders, all I am doing is just channeling the youth to be who they were called to be. It's a career development and leadership development program, but it has so many angles. We do things like through the eyes of a boy child, where we are focusing on gender-based violence. I like these mini people. These mini people, when I say mini people, is from age 8 to 12 years. I work with them And I also have the career development, but that is just me making them, find their niche, what they love. It's more about quizzes, fun, just to make them aware that there is more to life than wanting to be a doctor because you want a car, instead of wanting to be a doctor because you want to find a solution for a certain disease. That's how I interact with them, because we grew up differently. We were told, work, find this kind of a career and you'll make lots of money. And the minute you realize that after money, there is really nothing, you are empty, because at the end of the day, it's what God wants you to do. So if I was mentored before, I wouldn't have gone to do all these other degrees. I would have just gone out, studied English, write my books, mentor people, tell people. So transformation is in me. I want to see people transform. So that's why I say you were not aware that you were actually calling me to what I am.
Oh, wow.
As a result,
I was saying, I love what you're saying, June. Sorry to interject. That transformation has been part of our lives, but in essence, you are a transformer yourself. That's why God was using you to come and work with me in the transformation. So when I listen to what you're saying about working with the young minds, it says you are busy continuing transforming young people into becoming the matured people who will come and make a difference in the lives of many. So yeah, the transformation is our role as a coach yourself. Maybe if you can take it also from there, being a coach, how you're transforming the lives.
As a coach, I am transforming the lives because I believe that coaching should be in the blood of everyone who is alive. It's because I always, but listen, today, for example, is Women's Day. And when it's Women's Day, we talk a lot about empowerment. But in my opinion, as a life coach, I always say to people, I am not here to change your life. I'm here to support what you already have. Exactly. So if actually empowerment that is being said could be done in a way that you empower already the empowered. I don't know whether I'm making sense. You don't empower someone who is down there with nothing. You empower the empowered. So sometimes we tend to look at people who have nothing and then we go get them out of their gutters and say, we have empowered them. Those people are not going to do anything with whatever you are giving them. If empowerment in the sense of a life coach, so if the people can actually take all life coaches and say, what can we do to transform our country? We should look at people who are already there, trying to do something, but they are not empowered. Some of them is resources. Some of them just need a little bit of encouragement to say, little girl, you've got it. All you need to do with that NPO of yours is to do 1, 2, 3, give them strategies to grow. Imagine how many people could change lives if we were introducing in that way.
Wow. That's interesting. It's interesting when you said empowered, what empowerment is. And I also say, I just want to add on that in most cases, as you say, it's just to show a person what you already have and how they can actually get it out there and use it. So that's what in integral coaching we call just self-correcting and self-generation, because you do have all it within you. And in terms of from our beliefs, we say God has put it in you. So it's just for you to realize what that is. When I do self-discovery workshops, I say, know yourself. What is it that God has put in June? That is why you realize that, you know what, finances, I'm enough. I need to go out there and say, God has put something in you. And I don't think that it was a waste of time. Remember the scripture that the steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord. You had to go there and gain some experiences of the finances for you to come and manage your businesses and help the young ones to also manage their businesses. I think you're doing a great job, Julia. Okay.
I must say, I can't say everything went to waste, because all the skills that I acquired while I was at Treasury has assisted me in
Definitely.
every other way. I mean, even the computer skills, we used to be sent to extra computer skills just to upgrade our skills. And that is becoming handy when you are alone, having to figure out this Zoom business. I mean,
Yes.
anyone working from home alone without a company will tell you how this journey, it's very lonely, but the skills that you have is the ones that help you wake up in the morning. And that's what actually I love about my life coaching, because I actually call myself an adversity to advantage life coach.
Oh, wow.
That is mainly because I've been through a lot of challenges that could have cost me to just let go, but in some way I managed to find the courage to spring up and say,
Right.
this is what I want to do. But I'll tell you more about it when I tell you about the books.
All right. I think this is where I wanted to say, you in your book, Anchor, the Anchor Holds, if you could just share briefly from your book, what made you to write this book and how does it really help you whenever you go back to your book? Because I always say inspiration starts with yourself. If I read my book, I get so inspired, and I know the same applies to you. What is it that made you to write the book, and how does it just motivate you on a daily basis? The Anchor Holds.
Sure, that one, it's a journey on itself. But mainly because my first book is Just Do It, Don't Stop.
Mm-hmm.
And you must remember, when I wrote Just Do It, Don't Stop, it was June. June, the impulse of June, trying to say, stop feeling sorry for yourself, don't give up, stop being victims, let's do it. Our country needs young people, women, men who can, build and contribute to nation building.
Mm-hmm.
But lightning struck and my life took an unexpected turn. And remember, now that's when I wrote the Anchor Holes, because I needed to show people that you can be June. You can tell people that this is how you do it when you are in trouble. This is how you do it when you have problems. This is how you do it, wake up. But at the end of the day, you cannot do it as June. That's why I say the Anchor Holds, because I went through turbulent situations that any other woman probably committed suicide. I live with the disease that is really debilitating. It actually, okay, besides the pain, it saps my energy. I'm always battling to, just find myself for the day. Many people don't know about it. It's a rare disease called acromegaly because of a pituitary tumor at the base of my skull. But while going through the healing process of that, trying to find myself into the world of now living with the limitations of a chronic disease, I experienced an emotional situation, divorce. And remember, when you are sick, you obviously don't work much, especially when you work from home. So that also put me into financial disarray, because I was figuring this and that and this and that. There were days where I just wanted to curl under the duvet and just sleep and forget. But every day I managed to stand up, take a step forward, try this, try that. And that is when one guy read my book, the first book, Just Do It, Don't Stop. Yeah, that guy said to me, wow, you are so good. I do a life coach. I said, no. Then he said, but you're a natural life coach. He was a life coach himself. And then his name is Manny Bota. Manny Bota actually called the founder of School of Life in Pretoria and said, you know what? We have a natural life coach. I don't even want this woman to pay for that cost. just put her in through that so that she should be certified as a life coach. She's a natural life coach. That's when I wrote the anchor holds, because now I just looked at the events of my life and I realized that, June, you'll be fooling yourself to say to people, you are June, you can make it. It's only through God.
Yes.
It's only through God for you to experience all these things. I mean, while everything is dark in your life, but you are still there. Because a lot of people used to ask me, how do you do it? You are a really just do it, don't stop kind of woman. And then I said, no, God is a jealous God.
Yes.
I'm not going to play in that territory.
There's
That's
an
why
anchor.
I wrote the anchor. So if you go through the chapters of the anchor, you'll just see that I'm relating my journey and how each chapter has a verse that I was carrying every day to put me through. And I'm still carrying today because faith, there's no masters. There's no Dr. June because you wrote the end out. Sure. You are still going through challenges and I'm still going through the books.
True.
And of course, we meet people like you. How can we not go on?
Wow, I'm humbled. And you know, June, when you say how could you just tell people? It's what I want to say is that as people, we need to sometimes just be vulnerable, allow ourselves to be vulnerable and know that there's a higher, power that can actually help us. God is actually saying, come, I will strengthen you with my right hand. So if you have faith in him, he will definitely do that. The motto of Home of Inspiration, I always say, be the leader of your life. Because if you can't lead your life first, how are you going to lead others? And that's exactly what you have demonstrated, to say, let me first take care of myself. I empowered myself and really took care of, allowed people to say, come, let's take you by the hand. And that's why you are here today, that we can celebrate your life and say, June Maserame Mokoka, you have showed us that life is possible. Anything that you want to do is possible. And I really want to say from the bottom of my heart, I acknowledge you, I adore you, and I will continue to talk about June Maserame Mokoka because of how you have shown, and we'll continue to work together. I'm sure one day we will do something together just to empower our people. Now, having said that, I know you are a mother, just apart from the other challenges, because we will definitely talk about them one day. You are a mother to two lovely people. Do you want to briefly talk about them and just tell them how much you love them on this Women's Day?
Wow, those those two people that I usually say I share a DNA with them, but ever since they grow up, they are so opinionated. I always ask myself, where are those two young people that I used to call my children?
Yeah.
But I love them to bits. And Resokofetse, which means we are blessed.
Yes.
And Rebaone, which means we are his. It's those two names that always used to help me wake up. Sure. You know, I would say to God, no matter what I'm going through, I'm blessed because I'm yours.
Yes.
Just referring to my kids. And sometimes I won't even pray for them like a long prayer. I'll just say, God, ibile rebaha. So those two people are the ones that make me wake up every day and say, I still want to do more for them. They are grown up now, both at varsity, but I'm still saying they need me as a mother. Yeah. And I want to leave a legacy where they could say, when the going gets tough, we just face the Bible. Yeah. I mean, I normally say to people, I don't want to give anyone a certain scripture because it's picky. It's picking from God what I want other people to read. So I usually say, read the Bible. Go to Psalms, go to Proverbs, go wherever. You'll find something if you read it.
Because that's how God speaks to you. Yes.
Exactly. True. Exactly. So that's how. I don't know if you are aware. I also write devotions every morning.
Please share.
And I'm not saying to anyone, don't go through the normal medical process of when you are depressed. But I was highly depressed and they wanted to put me on antidepressants. That is when I said, God, this one I'm going to fight it tooth and nail because I've lost everything. And by losing everything, drinking those medicines, it's not going to get me anywhere. I'm just going to forget for a while. So that's what I call them antidepressants, because I'm actually talking to me every day. For people who know me, someone would just say to me, is everything all right? I saw you saying you are going to slay that giant. So obviously they know that it means I'm dealing with the giant today.
Wow.
So that's how I because I'm actually talking to me, and someone would just say, hey, this is relating to me. Or then we would talk, because I usually say, I would really like a lot of women who are transforming lives to come together. I'm trying to get something called Forward Thinking Fridays. You know why? Because when I went through the dark period, that's when I realized who are truly, they say when there's a dark, friends are few. No, they are real. When there's a dark, friends are real. And I want to establish a podcast or whatever, like we're doing now, called Forward Thinking Fridays, because I want to empower women to start talking and praying for each other instead of talking about each other. Right. People enjoy talking about Rosaline. What is Rosaline doing? Where did she get the money to buy this car? But when Rosaline is having problems, they are actually, it's like they analyze it as if it's something nice. I don't know how to put it. But then I want to touch it on the Forward Thinking Fridays, where we come as women and say, how do we uplift each other with prayer? How do we uplift each other when we are in this, when we are in trouble? Instead of just talking about how the other one is doing that or the other one is doing that. Because we need to empower each other, and that way we'll find healing.
June, I'm so inspired about Forward Thinking Fridays. I think we will talk about that. I'm very inspired because it's important for us to be, united as women, and especially women of God, and say, how do we help each other so that our children, our girl children, even our boy children, can actually look up to us and say, those are godly women whom we can go to whenever we are facing challenges. So what you've just said now is taking me to say, what narratives as coaches, what narratives do we want to create for ourselves, and how do we encourage people to also come up with new narratives for themselves? Because the reason why people are either depressed or what, the only thing is they must actually correct themselves, identify what needs to be changed, to change within them. And that can happen by changing your narrative, changing your story, the story that you would like to tell. I mean, you are telling such a beautiful story. You are telling the sad things that happened to you, but I'm actually getting beautiful things, beautiful, ideas from you, and a story that says to me, Rosaline, what you're going through is nothing compared to many other people, what they're going through. But the important thing is how they go through those stories. So I'm really, I think I am blessed. And what I want to say mostly on this day is that we are saying to women of South Africa, some of them might be old, some of them are young. But I mean, at our ages, I think we're old enough to can be able to advise, to say, what is it that you do? I mean, it's Women's Day, but do we still want to keep on telling history? History is okay, it's good, but we need to move forward. Exactly what you're saying, Forward Thinking Fridays. We need to look ahead and say, what is it that we want to leave? Or how do we want to see our children to remember us? Let us lift up these girls as we go up. Let's not leave them behind. So I think that's a good example you are talking about. And maybe if for us to conclude this talk, what is it that you would like to say to the young girls, maybe even the young boys, whether it's entrepreneurship?
To the young boys and girls of South Africa, I just want to say to you, the country needs you. When I started working, there was no jobs. Now, where do you think the jobs are all of a sudden?
Yeah.
So we have to think broadly as to how we take our country forward. I'm very jealous of South Africa. That's why when there's funny things, I don't even watch the news, because I'd rather pray and wish that God should give me wise words or ideas to come up for these young people. So for them, I'm launching this digital newsletter I call Think, Act, Create.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is there. For those who want to receive it, you'll just find me on Facebook, or I'll forward it all over. But I'm always all over the social media, because I want us to start thinking how we can help our government, not fight it, help it with our ideas to grow forward. So all I'm saying to you, the world is open for you. But let me tell you something, without God, there's nothing that you can achieve. Trust me, I tried it. I'm not talking about something that I don't know. With God on your side, almost everything is possible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you said they can get you on Facebook. I just want you to share maybe your Facebook. It's June Mokoka. Am I right? And then if they want to order the book, because I also want to encourage.
Maybe I must give you my phone number.
Yes, you could also give your phone number and the email address. That would help.
Yeah. It's 082 551 5906. It's both Great. For call and WhatsApp. 082 551 5906. And my email address is masejune@gmail.com.
Lovely. Thank you so much, June. It has been a pleasure being with you on Home of Inspiration. And I know this is not the first and the last time we interact. As a matter of fact, they know in my book, Wisdom from the School of Life, I talk about interactions. These are the kind of interactions that really make me grow as a person, as a human being, as a mother, and as a wife. So I'm really blessed to have interacted with you. And friends out there, it has been nice to share this with you, and make sure that you continue to subscribe to our YouTube videos, and also like and comment. You might actually send some messages, messages that would encourage us, as human beings. We also go through stuff, but with those messages, we will definitely conquer. And remember, be wise and live. We love you. Thank you so much, June.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please be safe, wear your masks, sanitize, keep your distance. Thank you very much.
Great. Bye.
Bye.